the Bengals insider, Cincy Unfiltered. You can catch him on Cincy Unfiltered, man. The Cincinnati Bengals show out of Dayton, Ohio. Our main man, Drew Garrison, joins us. Drew, what up?
How's it going, man? My internet waited till right then to mess up.
Oh, you're good, man. I know you're busy, man. I know you're busy. It was last minute to hop on here, man. We're at the lounge here at the Slapdick Cigar Lounge. So, man, give us the lowdown on this Shamar Stewart deal. I said it months ago. Smitty and I argued. I said, man, I'm not buying it. There's no way that this is the only contract in America that hasn't been signed. There's something going on. The owner came out yesterday and basically said, nah, he wants certain things if he gets in trouble and he still wants to be paid. I don't know any owner that would pay for that. Where are you at now? I know you're a neutral guy and is going to call it what it is. I think you're waiting on his agent to come on your show, see if that happens. Hopefully for you. What's going on with this?
I think the agent's ducking me. If I'm being honest with you, I got a DM from Dalvin Cook after our show last Tuesday. I was kind of talking shit about the situation. I got a DM from Dalvin Cook like, "Here's my agent's contact info. Hit him up." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I talked to the agent. He starts texting me, like, defending himself. I'm like, yo, like, I don't think this shit's getting reported right in the media. You got, like, Schefter goes on Pat McAfee's show one day and says, like, the Bengals are trying to do some shit that nobody else does. And then a couple days later, Rappaport's on there. He's like, no, lots of teams have this. So, like, this whole thing has been a shit show of reporting in the media to begin with. So I'm like, this dude. So I come to find out the agent got on Dalvin Cook's Twitter to message people because nobody would reply to his messages from his account. So he's trying to do this like damage control thing. And come to find out, really, the Bengals just don't want to pay this dude if he goes to prison. And Abdul Carter, the third overall pick, much better defensive end pass rusher, much better prospect than Shamar Stewart. He has this language in his deal. Gray Zabel has this language in his deal. Stewart was picked 18th. Picks 17 and 19 have this language in their deal. All the Bengals want to do is say, hey, dude, if you go get into a Quinshon Judkins situation and you end up going to the joint and you can't play football, we don't want to pay you your guaranteed money, but you can still earn it if you stay on the team. And let's be real. Look at the Bengals' history. Pac-Man Jones, Joe Mixon. These are guys that they have stuck by when they had issues happen off the field. Pac-Man's one of the realest dudes in the world. He'll tell you, he'll say, Mike Brown saved my life and stuck with me when nobody else would. So they're not asking this dude to do anything crazy. They're just saying, yo, sign this paper, banking on the fact that you're not going to go to prison.
It's weird. I mean, I don't know what you talk. When you hear the owner, this old white man, get out there and talk about prison, obviously everyone's going to attack him. Like, why are you talking prison? Why was it prison? Let me throw this back at you. As a Bengals organization that has, we have TJ Houshmandzadeh, who's a friend of ours, and other guys that have played in the organization, Chad, who JUCO played with us all in JUCO, TJ and Chad and all these other guys that are all there. Pac-Man obviously comes on our show. I talk to Pac-Man quite often daily. Let me ask you, did they drop the ball too by not preemptively looking into this and turning over rocks and saying, all right, we fucked this up now. We lost a first-round pick now because we didn't do our due diligence or our homework. Is that an issue, or are you seeing that at all coming out of the Bengals camp, or is this now all on Shamar and his agent?
So this is a little bit on the Bengals just because of the fact that the rest of the league has been doing this with this language. This is the first time the Bengals are trying to do it. It didn't get all this. It didn't get a lot of pub last year, but Amarius Mims, their first round pick right tackle, he didn't sign until I think July 22nd last year because of this same thing. But the difference is his agent wasn't popping off at the mouth and sending DMs to random dudes on Twitter trying to state his case. And the Bengals' second-round pick, Demetrius Knight, he just signed a contract with this same language in it. So he's technically the first. And in like a concession thing in negotiations, the Bengals said, okay, you're going to sign it with that language. We're going to give you 75% of your signing bonus right now when you sign the paper. But what Demetrius Knight also did was he signed the practice waiver that said, I'm going to practice while my contract's being worked out, so I'm protected if I get hurt. And he just kind of kept his fucking mouth shut, went to work, went to mini camp, was getting on the field, getting the reps, and then he did it. Now, Shamar Stewart's guy has been popping off at the mouth. Shamar Stewart leaves mini camp, tells the media in person that the Bengals are more focused on winning arguments than football games, which is some shit that I've said before as a Bengals fan. But like, it's just how you do business matters. So I think that what people don't get about the Bengals is like they will prove a point. They don't give a fuck. They're dealing with it with Trey Hendrickson right now, which I think they're completely fucking that situation up in my eyes. I'm not this dude that's gonna. Lately, it looks like I'm riding for the organization like this, but trust me, I know that there's plenty of flaws upstairs at Paycor Stadium. So I think that the Bengals should have maybe been a little bit more transparent with them about it, that they were going to try to do it, but they've also done this. It just hasn't got all this publication because most dudes just keep their mouths shut. They sign their practice agreement, they get to work, and they let their agents figure out the deal.
Man, that's definitely interesting. I know when it's like, to your earlier point, so many different reports were coming out that was just, I guess now in hindsight, sound like they were wrong because I was defending Shamar. I'm saying, initially I'm like, look, he wants the same contract that every other rookie has. I don't see what's the big deal. He's not asking for any more money. But now this report comes out and it does kind of, shift my mind and change my mind a little bit. It sounds crazy that if what you're saying is the only thing that's in it, the contract, is that, hey, if you get in trouble, basically, we don't have to owe you this money. If that's it, I don't understand why you just won't sign it. Like, to me, that seems too simple. So I don't know if there's something. I wish, to your point, I wish the agent wasn't ducking you so he could just speak up and maybe correct us or add a little bit more context. Because to me, it has to be something else. Like, that's too simple for a player to be going through all of this over that one line. That just seems crazy to me.
And the way I understand it after listening to as many sides as I can is the Bengals say, hey, if you do something and you go to prison, you're suspended, you can't play football. We want to avoid the future guarantees of your deal. And I think what Stewart wants and his agent wants is they say, okay, if I get in trouble and I do this, only the guaranteed money from that year should be voided. If I fuck up in 2026, you should only void my guarantees for 2026, not 27, 28. And the Bengals are like, it seems like this is an industry standard thing, and the only thing the Bengals are wrong on is not doing it sooner. And Buddy doesn't want to be the example for it or whatever, but it's like you're also you're not Abdul Carter, who's a can't miss prospect. You're a dude that had 4.5 sacks your entire college career. Like, you don't have a ton of leverage to back anything up, and you need the reps.
But if I'm him, I'm like, y'all drafted me though. You don't count my stats now. You drafted me first round with 17 pick. So that means you see me as a first rounder. I don't care what my numbers were. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
And we draft on potential because 4 sacks in 4 years. I think you compared him to Abdul Carter earlier, a guy that's much more seasoned. This is my fight back to Smitty, though. Yes, we drafted you. We're giving you an opportunity to show us that you are the right pick for the Bengals. We're going to hit the home run that no one else wanted you. 17 picks prior, we had an opportunity to take you. Nobody took you. We took you on potential. You need to get reps. 4 sacks in college, you need reps versus grown men. If I'm the coach, that's number one, the thing I'm saying. Dog, you need to get out here. We'll figure that out, but you haven't even practiced one fucking time, and you had us draft you, showing you good faith. That's the set. That's what I've been on this whole time. Like, now if he was sitting out, to Smitty's point, I get it. If it was a contract deal, but he did OTAs or minicamp or rookie minicamp, I could see it. But he didn't do fucking nothing. That's the issue.
You blame him or the agent, though?
I said I blame
the agent a lot. But
who
also,
who is he, Drew, real quick? Who is he? Is he a new booty agent or is he a guy that's been around?
His name's Zach Hiller. He got fired by Zay Flowers because he cost Zay Flowers about $10 million. So he's a younger dude. When I was talking to him, we were texting back and forth, and it seemed like kind of like contentious. I'm like, yo, I was for real. Like, you hit me up. You're trying to tell your side. I'm just trying to learn. And I hope that we can still have the conversation tonight. I've tried to reach out to him to confirm it a couple of times and haven't heard back. So I don't know. But the thing that really gets me about this, if you're not happy with the deal, that happens. It's business. I get it. But how many players in the league sign these practice agreements, including guys on his own team, to still get to work while it's being worked out? So the contract's not good enough for you. The practice agreement's not good enough for you. Like, there's got to be some give and take here.
Yeah. Let me ask you, legality wise, if you may not know, but let me ask you, like, they don't recover this pick. Obviously, it's done. They don't get NFL love, and they say, here's an extra bonus contract. So what happens? Like, the next year comes in, it seems like player empowerment again once all over again. This kid can be redrafted next year, or he could be released this year, from what I understand, and picked up if he doesn't sign this contract. Is there do you know anything about what's going to happen before the season? Or does he go back to college if that's even a possibility?
So if there was rumors last week that kind of stirred all this back up that he was working out with Texas A&M and was maybe going to look at he's going to have to go to court if he wanted to go back to college.
Yeah,
but the thing about that is, if he went back to college and let's say he got the NCAA, which is a clusterfuck of itself, to approve him to come back in and play another year in college, and he went back in the draft, the Bengals would own his draft rights next year. So it wouldn't really matter. They could cut him. They could just say, all right, we're done with you. Go do whatever you want. He would technically be a free agent as far as I know. Or
that's what I'm reading.
Really the only real play that he has, because the Bengals would never do that. They're petty as fuck. They would just be like, we're going to keep you just to be an asshole. Or if he sat out of football completely for this whole year and didn't play and re-entered the draft next year, anybody but the Bengals could draft him. But he's going to lose so much. You think he's going to go 17 again after all this and a year off and low college production? Like, you're going to drop to like the second, third round maybe, bro. Like, you're going to cost yourself the millions anyway.
That's a hell of a point.
Yeah, bro. He's going to lose some money, man. He's going to lose some money, man.
It sounds like he's in a position, to your point, at some point, he's going to just have to shut up and sign. And all this time was it to be time wasted that he could have been getting better.
That's my point the whole time. That's been my point the whole time with this argument. Like, you're just doing nothing because you don't know what's going to end up happening. And now we're looking at it. And if I'm the Bengals, you ain't ready to play for me. I don't know what type of shape you're in. You don't know shit. You don't know the system. I'm not putting you out here. And then I don't have Trey Hendrickson yet. So, like, there's a lot going on in the Bengals. Now, let me flip it real quick before you get out of here. I know you're busy. Drew, on the Joe Burrow side, they spent all this money on 2 freak-ass wideouts to make Joe Burrow happy. But if I'm Burrow, I'm pissed off right now because the reason we didn't go to the playoffs last year was our defense. And it seems like that's the same issue we're going into camp with that started when they start camp yesterday?
It starts today, actually.
Today is the same thing.
Trey's back in Florida.
Now that's the little leverage, if anything, I would give to Shamar. Is the fact that they haven't signed Trey Hendrickson. He's obviously not happy. You don't want to lose him and your first rounder. To your point, you know what I'm saying?
Drew, what does this mean?
He's chilling. He ain't fucking playing.
Does that mean I'm going off into the sunset, or does that mean
I'm chilling?
Horizons are ahead.
So this is what I know for sure. One of my homeboys, Malik Wright, is another guy in the Bengals world. He had a one-on-one interview scheduled with Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati yesterday in person, and then it got canceled because something came up. So everybody said, okay, he's been in Cincinnati. He's been training in Cincinnati. Trey has been here. So everybody on the internet's like, all right, he had to bail on this interview because he's going to go knock this deal out. The vibe started getting real positive around, what was going to happen. People saying they think it's going to get done. And then I wake up this morning, I got a DM from Coach JB asking what's up. And then I got tweet notifications saying that he just got the fuck out of here and he's in Florida. So something broke down. And from what I've been told, it broke down over the guaranteed money, which is something that the Bengals have always had a problem with. They like guaranteeing money in the first year of deals. They don't like guaranteeing it beyond that. And this is one, like, I'm on their side in the Shamar Stewart thing, but I think they're fucking this up with their best defensive player, NFL sack leader, because the reality of the situation is he was the only guy putting quarterbacks on their ass last year.
I feel like are the Bengals a cheap organization? You would know better than me. And I feel like I've talked to TJ. Like
we had Willie Anderson on.
Willie Anderson gave a different perspective. Willie Anderson said they actually do pay their guys. TJ, he'll tell you something differently. So I'm getting different perspectives. From your view, just over the history, do you look at them as like a cheap organization in comparison to other teams?
They used to be.
Okay.
And I think Joe Burrow has forced them to change. Because, bro, I've been going to that stadium my whole life. It used to be a fucking concrete jungle with green seats and a shitty turf field. They've come a long way. They gave Burrow $260 million. They gave Jamar Chase the highest contract in NFL history. They gave T. Higgins over $100 million. They're not trying to fuck over taxpayers with their stadium anymore. They're putting their own money up into it. They're getting there. They're evolving. And a lot of that is because Mike Brown is giving a lot of control to his family members. Now, his daughter's going to run the show. I'm not a huge Katie fan, But her daughter, Elizabeth, is kind of getting involved too. She's younger. She's more in touch with fans. She's getting it. They're improving. They definitely have a long way to go. But when you look at it, they've been giving out big ass contracts to the guys that they've drafted that have become stars. They extended Logan Wilson, and they just happened to get in front of the market on that. They signed him before the market kind of exploded for linebackers. So like they have their flaws. I'm not putting on a cape and trying to be Mr. Brown's superhero by any means. But when TJ talks, like I've seen TJ talk on shows in the past where like Willie Anderson had to buy these guys jock straps because Mike Brown's like, yo, use these used jock straps. So like they have come a long way. Don't get me wrong, but they definitely still have stuff to work on.
I think Willie's point was like we pay like if you look at the history of the Corey Dillons and to myself to different guys like Takeo Spikes. He was naming all these guys, the other running back, but he was naming guys that were like, hold on, we paid some guys big time generational wealth money too that others wouldn't do. So he's like, for all the hate that the Bengals get for not paying guys, they have paid guys and critical guys too. So especially up front, they've taken care of O-linemen usually for the most part. Willie was bringing up. So he was like, it goes both ways. He goes, every organization has a cap. We all work under the same guidelines. It just depends on. So it's funny how some teams get this rap, but there's a reason for it, I guess. That, certain teams try to nitpick, I guess, as far as how they save their pennies. I don't know.
Yeah, and with the Bengals, it's sometimes it's structure more than it is the contract value because they don't like guaranteeing money after year one to non-quarterbacks. They've always paid their quarterbacks, but they just, and some people say it's because when you guarantee a guy $80 million, you got to take that $80 million, put it into an escrow account now. Right. Some people say they don't know if the Bengals have that cash because this isn't Cleveland where Jimmy Haslam's been scamming truck drivers for 20 years and he's got billions of dollars in the bank. Like this is their only business. So some people say it's that. Some people say it's them trying to limit the risk. But the annual value of these contracts has never really been the issue. It's just about the guarantees. But like for somebody like me who's been following the Bengals for 30 years, that can also work in the players' benefit too, because sometimes they're too loyal for their contracts. There were years they could have traded AJ Green and got a first, second round pick before his franchise tag, and they were too loyal to him. They were overly loyal to Geno Atkins at the end of his career. Like they pay these deals out too. It's just not the word guaranteed that's become so hot over the last few years. No doubt.
Man, what's going on, man? What do you got in the fire? We got to get you on during the season if we can, man.
Yeah, I'm down, man. We got the show tonight at 7:00 Eastern. I don't know if the agent's going to be there or not, but we get on there, we talk our shit. Shout out to the sponsor, Garage Beer. Got to pay the bills. I don't know if I know you like cognac. I don't know if you like beer, but if you do, try some.
Really? Oh, is it out of Cincy?
So they're based out of Columbus. It's I've been rocking with this beer for the last couple of years, and they just got the Kelsey brothers on board. So I like to tell people that Travis and Jason saw me drinking it and tried to get in on it.
Hell yeah! Hey, of course you got to do that shit. I got to do it, man. I'm gonna go to Over the Rhine. I'm gonna meet you at Over the Rhine, and we'll have some yak.
Hey, man, I'm gonna drink my yak, smoke my stick. That's what you said, right?
Do it. Let's do it. Hey, man, I can't thank you enough for hopping on, man. I know you're busy. I appreciate you. Anything you need from me, let me know.
All right, appreciate you. Shout out C Merck in the chat. Call me a Kelsey wannabe. Fuck you, buddy.
Nice meeting you, my guy.
Dick Ryder. All right, bro. Later.